All right, shalom, shalom. We're back again with the continuation of reading through the book of Proverbs. A little late on the third day for the third chapter. My wife is very ill right now, and I had to take time to take care of her and tend to the children. It's my obligation as a husband first is to take care of my family. And so if you do know my wife, please keep her in prayer. She's starting to just rest now and just take it easy, because one thing about a mother, she always wants to take care of the children and take care of the family, and of course me, her husband. But I don't want her to keep on working and doing all kinds of stuff. So right now she's resting, she's in bed asleep, and so I came out here to continue on what I said I would do. And so we'll go into the book of Proverbs chapter 3. We'll read through it, and once we're done reading, if that's all you want to take part of, then that's fine. And then we'll do a little study on chapter 3 and some of the things that the Father has shown me, found here in this beautiful book of wisdom, beautiful book of knowledge. If you really study this book, there's so much there, and you can find things there you never thought were in the Bible, things that are very applicable now to our lives. Okay, so let's just begin with chapter 3, and I'll get to all those things after we read it. All right, so chapter 3, verse 1, all the way through. And let's see, we have, it's only 35 verses. It's very, very short, okay? My child, do not forsake my teachings, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and abundant welfare they will give you. Do not let loyalty and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. So you will find favor and good repute in the sight of Elohim and of people. Trust in Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh and turn away from evil. It will be a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Honor Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh and your substance, with your substance, and with the first fruits of all your prudence. Then your barns will be filled up with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My child, do not despise Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh's discipline, or be wary of his reproof. For Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh reproves the one he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy are those who find wisdom, and those who get understanding. For her income is better than silver, and her revenue better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called happy. Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open, and the clouds dropped down the dew. My child, do not let these escape your sight. Keep sound wisdom and prudence, and they will be a life for your soul and an adornment for your neck. Then you will walk on your ways securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you sit down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden panic or the storm that strikes the wicked. For Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due. When it is in your power to do it, do not say to your neighbor, go and come again tomorrow. I will give it when you have it with you. Do not plan harm against your neighbor who lives trustingly beside you. Do not quarrel with anyone without cause when no harm has been done to you. Do not envy the violent, and do not choose any of their ways. For the perverse are an abomination to Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, but the upright are in his confidence. Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh curse is on the house of the wicked, but he bless the abode of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he shows favor. The wise will inherit honor, but stubborn fools disgrace. Now, that's the end of it. That's all of chapter 3. It's very short, but so much is there. So if all you want to do is just read along with me, then we're done for now. But I'm going to go back and go over some things. So just to understand maybe some of the words, when you hear me saying Elohim, that's the word God, G-O-D. It's Elohim in Hebrew. And when I say Yod He Vah He, that's what is actually in the Hebrew for where you see Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. When it's all capitalized, the word Lord is referring back to Yod He Vah He. So when you hear me saying those things, that is what it's about. And those are the names that I'm actually referring to. Okay. Let me pull something out real quick. Okay. So with all that being said, I want to go over something. I just thought of something and I'll give it to you right now. As I'm thinking about it, you'll see it also. Okay, so from verse 1 through verse 12, when you're reading the book of chapter 3 of Proverbs, it's something there is called the command and reward cycle. And so as you're reading it, you're going to see a command and then you're going to see a reward. Or what I like to say, you're going to see an instruction and you're going to see the blessing that you receive for following that instruction. It's from chapter 1 through chapter 12. Now, you don't see this, I don't believe, really in this pattern repetitively over and over and over again anywhere else in the book of Proverbs. There are other places where one verse will say it, you know, be a blessing and a command and a blessing. But right here, from verse 1 through verse 12, you're going to see the command and the reward, or the instruction and the blessing. I like to look at it as an instruction and blessing because I understand the Hebrew term here a little bit more. It's more than just a command. Okay, so like the very first one on verse 1 on chapter 3, my child, do not forsake or forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and abundant welfare they will give you. So he's telling you to keep the commandments. Don't forget his teachings. So it's his teachings and his commandments. He says, put them in your heart. And then it'll give you long life and abundant welfare. They will give you. So not just a long life, but a life of prosperity. And that's something I think a lot of us need right now. That people are going through things and having a hard time finding food, being able to pay for the gas and the lights, and just to daily things that you need just to function and survive in this world. I think we really need these things. So we don't forget his teachings, and we keep his commandments. The blessings will overtake you. Okay, so if you go on and you read the rest of it, you're going to see that instruction and that blessing, that command and that reward that you will receive for doing these things that are listed here from from verse 1 through verse 12. Very beautiful. Okay, so let's see what else I have here. So chapter 3, because I just write things in my Bible and I'll highlight them. Okay, so when you get to verse 5, it says, trust in Yod He Vah He with all your heart and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Okay, so that word trust in Yod He Vah He. Trust is a word in Hebrew called batach. It's synonymous with the word for faith and confidence. The faith and confidence you would have, like if you had a wall around your city to protect you back in those days from invaders or other nations that would be attacking or making war with you, you would have a wall around the castle and the village and all that, around the whole city. Just try to get people to understand what I'm saying. Not that they had castles in Israel, but it would be like a wall or a high fence. Something that protects you. Just like look at some of our homes. Like in my home, I have a fence that goes all the way around my yard. It keeps a lot of stray dogs out, and then coyotes and even people. You know, they'd have to really work to get over the fence. But even more so, the trust that we have in our Father, it's like a fence to us. And it says, with all your heart, do not rely on your own insight. You know, sometimes we don't think right. And we got to really go back to the Word and go back to Him in prayer and ask Him for instruction on some of the things that we do and some of the choices we're getting ready to make. And believe you me, there's choices in my life I wish I would have took to prayer and asked Him, you know, give me instruction, Father, show me what I should do here. And if I would have done that, I would have made a better choice, and a better outcome would have happened. I would have had that blessing if I would have listened to his command or his instruction. Okay, so so from verse 5 and verse 9 and verse 3 and verse 13, there's some things that point out. So verse 5, we see trust in him. And then it's on verse 6, it says acknowledge him. And then verse 7, it says to fear him. And then number 9, it says to honor him. And then in verse 11, it says do not despise him. And then when you get to 13, it switches to find wisdom. And it's because this is what he used in verse 19 to form the foundations of the earth. So there's all these different things that Proverbs is telling us what we need to do. And if we do these things, how many blessings and rewards that we get. You know, sometimes we get rewarded from work. We get a special bonus, or we get an accolade or something like that. You know, it's a reward for hard work and being diligent. And going to diligence, if we understand what Proverbs is written for. Proverbs is written for learning wisdom and discipline. So you can have know a whole lot of stuff, but do you have discipline to put it into action and to follow it and to be obedient unto the wisdom that the Father has placed inside of your mind and inside of your heart? So we have these words called musar and hukmah. Hukmah is wisdom and musar is discipline. Okay, hukmah, that wisdom, and then that musar, discipline. So you take the wisdom and you take the discipline, and what you know with the wisdom, you have discipline to activate it and to take action and to do something with what you know. You know, what good does it do for me to go in college for 7-8 years and get a master's degree or a double master's degree in science or math or robotics or engineering, and then just sit at home and watch TV all day? That's a waste of wisdom. It's a waste of things. Or, you know, wisdom's also things you gather in your life by the life you lived, and all the things that you gather, experiences and things you've failed in and things you've overcome and things you've accomplished and things you want, things you've learned from others. It's called experience. And experience is powerful. And that's why we need to go to the elders and ask them for direction sometime. What do you think about this? And what did you do when you went through this? Because sometimes we know the insight of some of the elders from the stories that they tell us of their lives and what they went through in life. Some of them had really hard lives, but they overcame. And they're still standing now, trying to still help us being those pillars of wisdom that the Father has placed in our lives. So it's just beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let's get to this word and just go to verse 21. It says, "My child, do not let these escape from your sight. Keep sound wisdom and prudence, and they will be life for your soul and an adornment for your neck." Okay, so I have one person ask me, okay, what is prudence? Prudence is discretion. You know, you're making wise choices. You're really having a lot of discretion. What I'm really going to do, you know, before you're going to really use all the wisdom and knowledge and understanding you can, and all your avenues of insight you can find, the elders, the books you read, and things you've heard, and things you listened to, and experiences you've had to make a sound choice. Okay, now where it says keep sound wisdom. Sound wisdom is something that is called common sense. But how many know that common sense is not common? You know, some parts of common sense can be taught. If somebody is wise enough to gain by experience and learn from others' mistakes, you can build on common sense. Some innately have a lot of common sense. They just figure things out. People call it like street smarts. Street smarts is something that it's in you because of where you grow up, and you just like your mind's activated because you're in a mode of survival. You just gotta have it, and so your common sense takes place. I'm not going down this street. I know what gangs are down there. I'm not going down there because I might get shot or stabbed or something bad might happen. I'm not gonna go down there. That's called common sense. And there's some people, oh, I don't care. I'm gonna walk down there. Not using common sense. They're all emotional. And so you just gotta, you know, be prudent. Have a lot of discretion in the choices we make. Use sound wisdom. Use a lot of common sense. Use all the avenues of understanding, wisdom, and knowledge you can have to make choices in your life. Now, this is just chapter 3. Verse 25 is something I really, really think we all really need to look at. It says, "Do not be afraid of sudden panic or the storm that strikes the wicked." For Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. You know, I see a lot of fear mongers out there. A lot of people trying to control people by fear and preaching fear and posting fear all over the place. It's fear, 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 fear. Oh, world's going to come to an end. You know, this nation's going to war, and this technology is doing this, and the government's doing this, and you know, all that stuff's been going on for years and years and years. It ain't nothing new. It's repeating itself. Like the King Solomon has said, there is nothing new under the sun. They just found a different way to do it, and they just changed the cover. That's all they did. It's the same book. Okay, it's the same book of fear and nonsense. Because we as believers do not fear these things that come about. All the sudden destruction. You know, there's one scripture that says, though 10,000 fall at your left and 10,000 fall at your right, you know, no harm will come to thee. And even right here it says, the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh will be your confidence, and he will keep your foot from being caught. If you really trust in him and you live according to the word, you live a righteous life, you have just put a shield of protection around you, and I don't care what happens. He will come and he will protect you. Now, there have been some chosen to be martyred. There are some that have been chosen to fight, but it's in them, and they don't have any fear in them because they know they've been chosen. And there's just some people, man, they want to fight. Look at our soldiers. They go out there because they want to make war. They believe that they're fighting for a just cause. Now, whether the government's doing other things with them or not, that's something different. I'm talking about what's inside of them. The Father has put a fight inside of some people that they will stand up and fight. There's a lot of mothers go mess with their children. They will stand up and fight you. I don't care if you're 9'8", 3,000 pounds. I don't know, whatever, you know, big swords, you know, Goliath. A mother will stand against a lion, a bear, a tiger, a bandit, you know, whatever. A mother. You know, I'm just talking about a woman. Now, how about a father? The father will do the same thing for his wife and for his children. Parents will lay down their life for their children and for one another. You know, how much more our Father, our King, our Savior, you know, oh man, he's going to come and move this whole earth and flip it upside down, and he's going to bring fire and consume all of our enemies. And believe me, that fire will not touch us. Look at the 3 Hebrew boys that went into the fire. It was burned hot, 7 times hotter than it normally was. And what happened? They're having a good old party, having a good old dance, having, you know, up there. And what happens? They meet there and whoo, there's one there with the face like Elohim. Oh man, he met us in the fire. So if you're going through the fire right now, he will meet you in the fire. The fire will not consume you. He will show you the way out. He absolutely will show you the way out of the fire. I've been in the fire in my life, and the Father has come down. He has joined me in the fire. And he made a difference. It stopped burning. It stopped hurting. I started praising him because he's in the midst with me. He's in the fire. And he brought me out. He brought me and my family out. And for many, 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 many years, he has brought many out of the fire. The book of Proverbs is powerful. It's absolutely true. And what's written here will bring you blessings. Instruction to follow for blessings to overcome your life. Blessings will overcome you. All right, shalom, shalom. I hope you enjoy chapter 3 as much as I do. And I look forward to doing chapter 4 with you as we go on forward and reading the book of Proverbs. All right, don't forget to be blessed and stay great. Shalom, shalom.